Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to the Davidson-Davie County Community College Coaches Show. I'm Miles Poole. We're here coming to you live from the Eatery in downtown Lexington. We've got Jared Bowman in the house doing the engineering work tonight. We appreciate Matt Jacobs letting us come into the Eatery in downtown Lexington to host yet another show, our seventh show, and Brandon Mullis, Coach Mullis, on the camera for us tonight. We welcome you, Storm fans, back. Happy New Year to you, Coach. Happy New Year to you. It's good to be back.
Same to you, Miles. Hope you had a great holiday, Christmas, and New Year's.
I did. I hope you did as well. And I know you and I both, and the Storm fans, we're ready for some basketball.
I am more than ready. We are super excited. We're less than 2 weeks away now from our first game.
Well, tonight we've had former players that have come in. We've also had one of your assistant coaches, Josh Allen, earlier in the year or later in the year in 2020 come in. But we've got two special guests tonight. We'll round out your coaching staff with, of course, Malcolm J. and David Kaplan.
They're both doing a fantastic job. They both come with great experiences from four-year schools. Coach Kaplan has coached at two different four-year schools. Coach J played at the four-year schools and overseas. So he also coached at Prince George's Community College at JUCO in Maryland that we actually played a few years ago. So they both have done a great job on the road recruiting and practice and all the things behind the scenes that go on.
Well, classes start, I think, the 11th of January. You guys have already started practice back from the Christmas break, correct?
That's correct. We started back this Monday. Usually takes me about a week or so to get my voice round into shape from yelling. We've had so much time off. I've had a rough time this week with getting after the guys, but they've done well. Monday, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought some of them would be out of shape, more so than they were. But we have a long ways to go, just like every team in the country, because, this year more so than ever, there's so many stops and starts with COVID. I do think we're getting better, but we do have a long ways to go. We certainly have not peaked yet, which is a good thing.
Now, before the holiday break, there was opportunity for you guys perhaps to play early January in the Phenom Classic down in Rock Hill. Was that something that's still in the cards for you?
I was really hoping we could do that, but unfortunately they do not have a event between January 4th and January 20th when our first game is, so unfortunately we're not going to get to do that. But we're having, I'll tell you, some really good practices the last couple of days. Yesterday and today and Monday was fantastic. Tuesday wasn't so good.
Well, I want to remind the fans out there watching on Facebook that you can text Coach some questions. I'll be following that. And I did want to give a shout out, Coach Ridge. We've had a guy who has come in on the tail end of the last couple of shows, and I've not been able to get him on the air. I just wanted to give a shout out to Jason Gore, who is a self-proclaimed Storm's loudest fan. So, Jason, I hope you're listening tonight.
He is one of our most loyal fans. I saw Caleb Curry and his family come in, Manuel Teague. I mean, we've had so many guys, and Jason Gore certainly fits in that category, and he is certainly loud. Quick story about Jason. There was a game where we didn't have our guy running the clock show up. I believe it was the shot clock, or maybe it was the regular clock. I can't remember which. But he was at the scores table doing something, and normally Jason sits on the opposite side of the court and is really vocal, especially towards the referees. Well, you can't sit at the scores table and yell at the referees. So the referee came over when he was yelling at him and said, "Look, sir, if you're going to yell at me, you cannot stay at the scores table." But Jason is a lifelong friend, and if you're listening, Jason, we certainly appreciate and love you.
All right, so January 20th, 2 weeks away. That is first official game of the season. It is at home against Denmark Tech Community College. What can the fans expect from that game with the Panthers?
Well, number one, you're going to see a very competitive, improved team out of Denmark Tech. They hired a former Division I head coach, and he's also their athletic director, so he, I know, comes with great experience. So I think they'll definitely be well prepared. I know they're always athletic. They're a Division I JUCO, so we scheduled that game on purpose to make sure our first-year guys realize before we start play. I know our sophomores understand that because they've been through it, but we're hoping that the 20th, our first-year guys realize just how competitive this level is.
Well, and then they've only got a couple of days. That game turn around a few days later. You play Pitt Community College at Brinkley Gym also. So the season really is going to kick off.
Pitt's always good. I mean, 2 years ago they won the regular season and went to the Nationals. So Coach Mullins does a great job in recruiting. He's beat me out for a few kids I really wanted. So that's our first conference game, and it's definitely not going to be easy for us. So our league is unbelievable. So I'm excited.
Well, the first 3 games, I think, on your schedule in Brinkley Gym, unfortunately, due to the COVID pandemic, fans are not going to be allowed to come in the gym, as we know, for most of the season, if not all of the season. How can Storm fans follow the action and keep up with what's going on?
Well, thanks to our athletic director, Ken Kirk, and Jared Bowman, who's, of course, making tonight happen over here, we're going to have an improved streaming service. All they have to do is go online and click on the link provided on our college webpage. And we're actually going to be doing pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with myself and potentially other players on our team.
Now, before we kick the show off, you were telling me there's been an announcement or some change in the league, I think, with one of the teams.
Unfortunately, Wake Tech's administration decided yesterday afternoon that due to COVID and the numbers being what they are in our state, they canceled their season. So I'm currently trying to find 2 non-conference opponents. I sent some emails out today, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. So talk a little bit more about, I hate to keep harping on COVID-19, but it is a pandemic, and it is something that we have lived with here for 9 months. And my question to you, as I started thinking about this, was going to be asking you to pause and reflect on this past year and COVID-19 and what maybe you have learned about yourself and about the team. But in light of a lot of things that have been going on, I mean, it's been a tough year. There's a lot going on in this country. We saw some really ugly stuff yesterday, and I just wanted to give you a chance to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Well, number one, in terms of our team, it makes me realize as a coach not to take practice, film session, and certainly games and just time with our team for granted. You know, and I hope our kids understand that basketball it can be taken away from you. I mean, you go down, tear your ACL like I did my junior year in high school, it makes you realize really quickly you're not invincible. So, you know, COVID-19 for me has made me reflect on just how blessed I am to be the head coach of Davidson-Davie Community College. On a much bigger scale, we spent all spring and summer trying to remove racism and hatred in this country, and to see things unfold yesterday like they did in Washington, it's just mind-boggling. It's just unbelievable. And I really think that social media could be a great thing, but it also can be an awful thing. And I think social media has been a platform that's been used to get people to be influenced to do things they wouldn't normally do. And certainly yesterday we saw a lot of hatred, and it was not a pretty day, as you said, and it's just unbelievable that our country is to this point. And it's something that I'm going to continue to pray about, that we can come together as a nation and be more unified. And we certainly talk about that with our players every single day.
Yeah, to me, Coach, I know we probably feel the same way. It starts with each of us. I mean, we all, as individuals, can make that difference. And that's what it takes. Individuals together, uniting, and it can make a heck of a difference.
We just had a situation today in practice where 2 of our players got emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And, a couple of our guys, it didn't come to blows, but our guys are so competitive, sometimes they have to learn to control their emotions and channel them in the right way, just like I do as a husband and father. And, we all have emotions. We're emotional creatures, but we have to, at the end of the day, remember we're all God's children, and we have to channel the emotion in the right way and think before you speak and do things. But we're human. We make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about at the end of last year, we actually had, ending the year out, we had a couple of former Storm athletes. Daniel Lawson came in and spent some really good time with us. And, of course, Justin Strickland, right before the Christmas break, came in and spent some good time with us and talked about not only their relationship with the college, with Storm athletics and Storm basketball, but talked about their success post-Storm basketball. student athletes are not the only ones moving on and doing great things. Recently, Davidson County Community College, one of your assistant coaches, Jermon Marsh, was in the news. You want to talk about that?
Coach Marsh, if you're out there, I really appreciate you, not just in the 3 years you coached with me, but even to this day, he's helping us. He's so loyal. He's currently the assistant coach, or one of the assistant coaches at Catawba. In preparation for tonight, I was looking at their records the last couple of years. The first year Coach Marsh was at Catawba, I believe they went 25-8. Last year, second year, they went 20-10. They've won a conference tournament in that league in the SAC, which I'm sure you know includes Queens and Lincoln Memorial, traditionally top 5, top 10 team in the country in Division II in NCAA. So Coach Marsh is a winner. When we brought him in, I knew immediately he was a tireless recruiter, unbelievable in terms of his knowledge of the game. He was an All-American in college when he played at Warren Wilson. So I was looking back actually a little further when he was with us at Davidson, and our record during his 3 years, I believe, according to the Catawba website, said we were 87-13. So when you look at his coaching record, where he's been the last 5 years, 87-13 at Davidson, 25-8 and 20-10 at Catawba, in the league with Queens and Lincoln Memorial, he's a winner. And more importantly, he's a winner off the court. Like I said, he sent me some players at Davidson. We actually have a transfer from Catawba this year, and it's because of Coach Marsh. So, there's a lot of words I could use to describe him as a friend, but loyalty and, he's just a better person than coach, and he's one heck of a coach.
It's good to see folks having success that you've been associated with, I'm sure. We've got a couple of your assistant coaches here tonight that I think we're going to talk to. So I'm going to get up, actually, Coach, if you don't mind, and take the mic over and talk to Coach Jay and Coach Kaplan. Okay, we got, like I said, we talked to Josh Allen, who's a 3-year coach, earlier this year, and now we're with Coach Malcolm Jay, who's in his first year at Davidson-Davie County Community College. And Coach, just a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I was looking at your bio, and last year you coached, I think, at the varsity level at Parkdale High School in Maryland. You've done some coaching at JUCO Princess George, I think, also in Maryland. But something was interesting in the bio that kind of struck me as being interesting, and I want you to talk about that. You were associated with an AAU powerhouse on Team Durant, Kevin Durant. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. One of my former coaches that I coached with at Prince George's, Jimmy Watkins, actually, was a coach over at Team Durant, and gave me a call once he seen I was coaching high school and said, what are you doing, during the summer? And I said, we don't do much during the summer. He said, well, why don't you come on over to Team Durant and coach with me? And from there, they started a B team. So they had an A team and a B team, and they needed a coach for the B team. And I said, oh, I'm willing and able, And so I began coaching at Team Durant. From there on, it was just an interesting thing. I played AAU. AAU is easy. You got all the talent, and then in a program like Team Durant, I don't have to go out and look for talent. They got talent just coming in and knocking at their door. So, it made my job a lot easier as a coach over at Team Durant.
So did you meet Kevin Durant?
I've met Kevin Durant a couple of times, because being from the DMV area, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, the hooping circle was kind of small. So, we definitely competed against each other a lot, coming up. And, I've met it and talked to him a few times. We're not great friends or anything like that, but we know each other. I know him if I see him, and he'll speak.
So you had a collegiate playing career as well. You were you played JUCO for Montgomery College in Germantown, Maryland. Also, you played at 4-year school, Fayetteville State. Talk a little bit about, because you made the move from junior college to a 4-year school. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so junior colleges, man, I got a soft spot in my heart for junior colleges, man. They provide an opportunity for you to re-enter the recruiting pool. Opportunity for you to get your grades better, so you can be able to play on the next level. So, and it's the grit and the grind about, the junior college level, man, I love, and that's what I know and that's what I love. But, I had the opportunity to play for a wonderful, hard-working, extremely hard-working coach, Xavier Joyner, who's now at James Madison. Man, what he did for me, man, he pushed me every day in practice. He brought in guys that'll push me, the talent level he puts in the work, and he just made me a better player. We call this program the car wash. You come in with a little dirt on you, then when you leave, you're a shiny car. But he definitely prepared me as a player to move on to the 4-year level, and then which I had several offers on the table, and I decided to accept the 4 ride to Fayetteville State, leaving Montgomery College. Fayetteville State was a huge transition too, because those guys on the next level, it wasn't many shots. Wasn't many shots to come around. So, I mean, you had to get it how you got it at Fayetteville State. So I decided, in my head that I was going to get it off the rebound, get my rebounds, and get my points off of that, because we had some guys who, when they shoot, it was going through the net, and it wasn't coming off. But my first game of the year at Fayetteville State was against Oklahoma, and at the time, Blake Griffin was at Oklahoma. And, man, it was definitely a welcome to 4-year experience.
So you've got a BA degree in sociology. You also have a master's degree in education. Talk a little bit about the importance and your advice for the student athlete about academics.
Yeah, man. Academics is extremely important, man. It's something that no one cannot take from you. It also provides an opportunity for your future family, provides an opportunity for you. When I decided to go get my master's, I had a daughter, and I was thinking, like, wow, I mean, I have this beautiful young daughter. Like, what would I want from her when she gets older? And I thought about it. I wanted her to get her bachelor's degree like me, but I wanted to get her master's too. And at the time, I didn't have a master's. So I said, how can I want my daughter to do something if I don't do it, if I don't set the example? And so I said, yeah, I got to get my butt back in school and get my master's degree. Plus, it'll provide me more opportunities to do what I want to do, like coach on the 4-year level one day, or just provide a better opportunity for my family. And when I first started grad school, man, I would get denied after denied, the different programs. I remember just getting denied letters, and then one time Loyola University sent me a letter, and man, they was saying, we require our students to have a 3.0 and above undergrad GPA. But there is an exception for people who have 2.75 undergraduate GPA. But we'll keep you on academic probation. But you cannot get you cannot get anything less than an A- in your first semester. And I'm proud to say that I didn't get anything less than an A my entire graduate career. And that was an opportunity from God. And that's something that no one can never take from me. So I got one final question for you, Coach Jay. First year, what have you liked so far about coaching with Coach Ridge? Oh, wow, man. Coach Ridge is an extremely hard worker. So detail-oriented. What he does, man, it just makes my job a whole lot easier. Like, I don't have a problem with the things he asks me to do because it's minor, because he puts in all the work. He's going over transcripts. He's looking at classes for guys. He's looking at visits and times to get guys in get recruits in. Like the little things he asked me to do is go out and recruit, and that's the bare minimum I can do is go out and recruit and tape ankles and stuff like that, and be at practice every day and on time, man. So Coach Ridge is extremely hard working, and I'm glad he chose me to come to Davidson-Davie Community College to be his assistant. And he makes my job a whole lot easier.
Well, we're glad you're here. Welcome, and we'll talk more with you as the season goes on. So thank you, Coach Jay. So now let's talk to Coach Kaplan. So, Coach, again, you also, first year head coach, or first-year assistant coach with Coach Ridge. You graduated from, really locally, from High Point University, and went on to coach some collegiate ball at Catholic University in Washington, D.C., so a D3 level. What were your primary responsibilities there?
Well, I started off at Centenary College, which had transitioned straight from Division I to Division III. They had Robert Parrish back in the day, and needless to say, we did not have Robert Parrish. I did a lot of recruiting there. I did a lot of behind-the-scenes, in the office, everyday stuff, just general basketball operations, trying to put out fires so our head coach didn't have to deal with them. At Catholic, my first year, I did a lot of our film work and a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And then my second year, I really did a bulk of the recruiting. Every recruit that we had, minus one Division I transfer, I had gotten. I was on the road. I missed probably a third of our games just driving, 6 hours one way and then driving straight back that night.
So recruiting is vital, and we've talked about it all year long on this coaching show. What are the differences that you've seen? So coming from Catholic University, a four-year school, even though they were D3, they couldn't offer athletic scholarships. So what are the differences in recruiting there than at the community college here?
The two-year level, you need guys who can come in and make an impact, whether it's their freshman or sophomore year. Yeah, obviously, we can redshirt. At the Division III level and four-year level in general, you want guys who can push your guys to be better, and then year two contribute, and then year 3 and 4 really become valuable pieces on the floor. So obviously, that's the difference here. We need guys who can come in and make an impact immediately.
So at High Point, you graduated with a degree in recreation management, but a minor in athletic coaching. What got you interested in coaching?
At a younger age than I would have liked, it was made apparent that I was not going to the NBA. I did not have a bright future playing, and so it was suggested that I get involved with coaching. And so when I was in high school, I actually coached youth basketball, and when I got to college, I had always wanted to start a club basketball team. I had friends who played at Virginia Tech, UVA, NC State, and when I had the opportunity, I started a club basketball team. And actually, the head coach at Queens University, Bart Lundy, probably will still hold this against me. I recruited one of the players off the varsity team to come play club for me. That was my first recruit.
So let me ask you, now that you've been here for this is the first year, I guess you guys started practice in August. What do you appreciate about coaching with Coach Ridge so far?
I mean, he treats it like $1 million job. I've been around a lot of practices being out of coaching last season between Danny Manning, Wes Miller. I went to almost 60 games and a ton of practices. But the work he puts in behind the scenes makes it so seamless, during a scrimmage, during a practice. It's the things that the fans and sometimes the players don't see. But he really, like I said, is a true professional, amazing coach, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to coach with him this season.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. How far can this team go?
Sky's the limit. As long as guys continue to get it done in the classroom, stay injury-free, knock on wood, I really think they have a high ceiling. I think we're going to be our toughest opponent, but I look forward to that challenge.
Well, thank you guys for sharing some time with us tonight, and we look forward to a really strong season.
Thank you.
Hey, so who are we gonna grab here?
This one right here.
This one right here, the guy in the middle. Okay, tell me what your association is with Storm basketball.
I'm the starting point guard. Well, I started point guard last year. I think this year I'm gonna start at shooting guard. I'm Javion Jones. Last year I wore 34. This year I'm wearing the number 1.
And your name?
Javion Jones.
Javion Jones. Javion, 31-1 last year. Ended the season disappointingly. You didn't get beat out of the season. COVID knocked you guys out. You were in the national championship. How hungry are you this year?
We real hungry. We know once we get there, we're going to get the job done. I mean, that's the eternal goal. So put in that work every day, put in that work in the classroom, in the gym, get back there, and we'll make it happen.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Coach Kaplan. How far can this team go?
All the way, 100%. all my brothers, they got my back. I got their back. We put that work in.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you guys play this year, and it'll be nice to see how far we can go. Got another one here. Okay, who we got?
DJ Suggs.
All right, are you first year?
No, sir. This is actually my second year. I redshirted last year. And I redshirted last year, so I practiced with the team and traveled with the team the whole year. So it was a long preparation. I didn't like sitting out, not playing with my brothers last year, but I got a good amount that's coming back. So it's a good feeling to be on the court now.
So what do you like about playing for Coach Ridge?
The intensity and how hard he coached me. And over the past 2 years, he's really built my character to a different level. So I love Coach Ridge. Like he tell you.
So I got to ask you the same question about last year. 31-1 ended the season due to COVID. This year you're coming out, high expectations. How hungry are you?
I'm very hungry. Like sitting out that whole year just made me even more hungry. But how that year ended made me very, very hungry because my brothers we deserved that ring last year. We worked really hard for it. Coach Ridge, he coached us really hard. And just to see how that went, it's really made me on a different level this year. So I think this team is going to be very great. We're going to win it all.
Well, you guys go get it. Go after it hard. As Coach Kaplan said, the sky's the limit for you guys. All right, we're back. Appreciate it, guys. All right, Coach. How do you follow up with that? You got to be proud of your players. You got to be proud of your coaches here.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. If there's one thing I've done right, is surround myself with people that have great character, great work ethic. You know, I got 2 great new assistants here. Coach Allen, if you're listening, I appreciate you. And, of course, most importantly, our players. So many people make us who we are. Our fans, our community, our administration. Dr. Hartness is so supportive of what we're doing on so many different levels. In just a short period of time, he's had a huge impact on all 3 of our athletic teams, volleyball, golf, and basketball. So we're just so blessed at Davidson-Davie Community College.
Well, we've got a lot of questions left here, but I know we're running out of time. But I wanted to talk about the college a little bit because we haven't really spoke a whole lot about it. You know, early January, a week ago, I guess the announcement was made that the name change. So from Davidson County Community College to Davidson-Davie Community College. You've got campuses on both counties, so you serve both counties. Talk a little bit about the school. I mean, it's a school that goes back, it's almost as old as I am. It was founded in 63. I was born in 61, but.
Well, you know, when I saw the announcement, the first thing I thought of is something we talked about earlier tonight, and that's unity. You know, if there's one thing our country needs right now, it's unity. Mm-hmm. And Davie, we've had a campus on Davie, camp out there in Davie County for years and years, but we've never had that a part of our name of our college. So Dr. Hartness and the administration has renamed our college Davidson-Davie Community College. So hopefully, the people in Davie County feel more a part of Davidson Community College now that it's renamed Davidson-Davie Community College.
So other than, Storm basketball, women's women's golf, men's golf, women's volleyball, what does the college offer outside of athletics for students?
Well, most importantly, it's a great education. When I do home visits with parents, the one thing I tell them, we're going to do everything in our power to help your son graduate with an associate's degree, and hopefully, if they improve and get it done on the court, get a free education at a 4-year school. But we have such a great academic protocol that's set up by our academic advisor, Jasmine Hargrave. If you're listening, Jasmine, we appreciate you. She works tirelessly to not just set up their schedules, but make sure they get the help they need to be successful in the classroom. She, in a normal year, does 2 to 3 hours of study hall a week with our players, And she played college athletics, so she gets it in terms of what it takes to be successful in the classroom. And she's as hard on them as I am, really. So she's done a fabulous job in the time she's been with us. So we have great instructors that are more than willing to help our athletes be successful. Our athletes just have to take advantage of office hours, study halls, and do the things that all of our students at the college should be doing, which is reach out if they need help, because there's certainly a lot of people on our campus that are willing to help.
Fall semester's behind us, so fall semester's over. Speaking of academics, you have some folks associated with the team that had some pretty good fall semesters. I don't know if you want to highlight them or not, or if we could do that.
Coach Cap actually highlighted them on social media over the Christmas break. Coach Cap, you may have to help me out here. I know one of our managers, Dylan Branscombe, which is our new golf coach, Michael Branscome's son, he knocked it out of the park. It was close to a 4.0, 3.6, I believe, something like that. Aaron Ross, one of our freshmen from Northwood, I know his GPA was well over 3.0. J.J. Williams, one of our freshman point guards, had all A's and B's, I believe, did a great job in the classroom. And we had a couple other guys, J.J. Barker and one other, I believe, that was well over 3.0. So we have several guys that are not just great players, but, really, really big-time academic, really good students.
Hey, you got to give them props for that. So, we're gonna the next time we meet, I think, is the 21st. It is
I believe so. Yeah.
21st at 7:00. By that time, we will have had a game under our belt. So it'd be really nice to get in and talk about the meat of that game. I'm looking forward to that. But before we leave here tonight, I wanted to give you an opportunity again to reach out to our Storm supporters and let us know if there's any immediate needs for your program or how folks can help you guys out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We always have needs of the program, and obviously we talk about it a lot. I've talked about it at former shows, and that's just generating funds for our needs going forward. With us being in this Division II league, obviously there's needs for money for athletic scholarships, and there's two ways to give to that. We have a scholarship endowment, and then you can give money for the next year's scholarships. Right now we're currently raising money for 22-23 athletic scholarships. We've pretty much closed the door for 21-22 next year's money, so we're working towards, we always work a year in advance. So if there's anybody listening tonight and you're interested in giving, please reach out to me, and I can explain to you how to write those checks and what to write in the memo section. And then also, when we start playing games here in a few weeks, unfortunately with this pandemic, they won't be able to come to our home games, but there are games on the road that are allowing fans. So, I can certainly put that out on social media in the event that we're playing somewhere that are allowing fans. We'd love for you to travel and watch us play. And then, as always, we'll be on, our website and streaming our games.
So I got to give a shout out to Danny Palmer. I'm supporting my Storm apparel tonight. This is new, and I've got a hoodie out in the car that I've got from Design Illusions. Can we still get this?
Well, the store's closed.
Okay.
But if there's anybody out there interested, we can certainly revisit opening it back up if there's anyone interested in buying more Storm gear. And as always, we have Storm gear in our bookstore on our campus.
Okay. Couple of real quick questions that came in. So Bryant Wall, just a shout out. Yes, sir, Coach Jay. And the big heart. And then Darren Hartness with a comment, the Storm's in great hands, and we look forward to another outstanding season. So we can't wait to tip that off.
Thank you, Dr. Hartness.
Okay, well, thank you, Coach. We appreciate the time again tonight. We appreciate, Brandon Mullis, of course, on the camera. We appreciate Coach Jay, certainly for being here as well. And then we also have to give a shout out to Coach Kaplan, who has emailed us on multiple occasions as well. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Jared Bowman and Matt Jacobs for letting us come into the Eatery here. And the Storm fans, but most importantly, Coach, appreciate you.
Well, we appreciate you, Miles. You do a phenomenal job, Jared and Coach Mullis and everybody behind the scenes making this happen. Matt Jacobs, I know you're not here tonight. It's your birthday. If you're listening, happy birthday, brother. Hope you're having a good night. Also, there's a few big-time loyal Storm fans in the house. Manuel T, Caleb Curley and his family, Brian Hughes and his daughter, Kevin Garner, I'm not sure if Mark Beck and his daughter Natalie, who was our manager the last 3 years. I hope I'm not missing anybody over there. But all our Storm fans out there in the community, please know that we appreciate you and love you, and hopefully we can all band together and be more unified as a country.
Agreed. And again, big turnout tonight. Again, as you said, I appreciate that as well. Great talking to the players here as well tonight. We're looking forward to seeing things get kicked off on the 20th, and we're looking forward to having you right back here with us again on Thursday the 21st at 7 o'clock. If you can't make it out, join us on Facebook.
And one more comment, the 21st, you might want to make a note on your calendar. We're going to have a really special guest that night. Our president, Dr. Hartness, is scheduled to come.
Oh, great. Looking forward to it. So join us then, and thanks for supporting Storm basketball.